Hey guys, today we're back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the bikes in my bike collection. Starting off with the Honda NSR 250 1995. This is definitely an older bike. I think this was considered a moped. I got this bike from um, buying VIP at the time. You could get this bike. I'm not really sure if you can get this from buying VIP anymore. But if you still can, someone please comment down below. Let me know if you still can. But if I had to rate this bike, it's a solid, hmm, probably like a 3.7. But also at the end, I want y'all to tell me which bike y'all liked most in my collection. But let's go ahead and move on to the Kawasaki. I think it's the Kawasaki ZX6R 636 from 2005. This is a more advanced bike than the NSR. It has a lot more features. It has a ginormous exhaust, which is probably weighing down this bike a lot. And I got this bike with by buying VIP. I got this bike, and this bike from buying VIP, and this one's a little bit faster than the NSR that I just shown you. And if I had to rate this, this would be probably a 4.1. 4.1, yeah. Next up, we got the Yamaha YZF R1M from 2020. This is a more advanced version of the R1M, the stock R1M. I guess you can say this is more of a, track version. It's more trackier than the R1M. It has little accents, like little blue accents right here, and right there on the M. And then also has blue rims. And this is, I think it's just a tiny bit faster than the regular R1M. They sound the same, but this one shoots bigger flames, I think. I'm not really sure. But, well, yeah, it does. And I think at the time I bought this for like, what, 500, 600,000. I think I got it like I think a couple months ago. Like well like 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah. But if I had to rate this bike, it's probably like a solid 6.8, 6.7, 6.7. Really beautiful bike right here. But next up we have the Honda SBR 1000 RR Fireblade SP2 from 2022. And I'm a sucker for fire blades. I love fire blades. Like I got well, yeah, it was a drag fire blade in Moto Rush, and that thing was beautiful. I wish that the ride could do that, because if they did, that would be one beautiful bike. People would love that bike. But this is, I can't remember when I got this. I got it for like 700,000. Well, I can't remember. I can't remember how much these bikes were, but they were a lot. This is fast, and it's a two-seater bike. I'll show you. Yeah, it's a two-seater bike. So if you have a passenger or your friend, and you don't feel like riding around on a slow little bike, hey, if you got yourself a SBR 1000 RR Fireblade SP from 2022, hey, you cruising. And this thing can take corners pretty good. Really good, actually. But if I had to rate this bike, definitely like a, what? You know what? It's a 10 out of 10 for me, because I like Fireblades. I really do. Alright, but next up we have the Honda RC45. This, I wish you could tell me, when this bike was made, like the others. It's, I think the the Kawasaki ZX6R is a little bit faster than this, just because this bike looks like it looks very chunky, and I got this. I already told y'all this, but I got this from buying VIP, I think you can consider these mopeds. I'm not sure, but if I had to rate this, mm, probably like a 3.9 or a 4 for me. But next up, we have the Ducati 1098R Racing Modified, and I absolutely love this bike. I really do love this bike, especially the color on it. Ooh, just goes so well with this bike. It sounds good, looks good, mm, and it's fast too. I think I got this bike for 700,000. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, yeah, I did. And I got this like a while back. A while back. This was like I think this was on. No, it wasn't on this map. It was on um the new map, but I think they're modifying the new map. I'm not sure, but and and if I had to rate this bike, it'd be probably like an 8.7. Definitely 8.7. Yeah. But next up, we have the Trump 675R Racing Modified. And this bike, it looks good, but it's just the sound. It's so pitchy. It kills it for me. I don't know if, all y'all like other like pitchy bike sounds. If y'all do, this is the bike. It's just I like more rasp, you know? I feel like I need a bike that has a growl and a deep tone to it. But this, not really there for me. I think I bought this. I don't know why I did. I just did at the time. I don't know why, but if I had to rate this, probably like a 6.7 out of 10. But next up, we have the Aprilia RSV4 Exentra, Exenta, Extrenta. Oh, all right. At the time when I first got this bike, I thought it was a stunt bike. I know it's not a stunt bike; it's a track bike. But I just decided to turn it into one. It does have a good tune on it. It does have a good tune on it. It's just, hey, in my opinion, the orange and the purple rims look good. But if I had to rate this bike right here, it'd definitely be a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, definitely. It's just something about the winglets and the look. It's just a striking look, kind of like a fighter jet. But next up, we have the Ducati Superleggera SV4. And this right here, I consider this the Bugatti of all bikes. It looks good, sounds good, performs good, and just look at those winglets. Like, oh my lord, them junks is big. You you gonna be taking corners so easily with this thing? I'm being so honest with y'all. And the rims just goes perfect with these. These aren't the stock rims, but these it does look good. It does look good, definitely. At least in my opinion. But if I had to rate this, 9.8 out of 10. 9.8 out of 10. All right, but next up, we got the Yamaha YZF R1 Drag Edition from 2015, and the color I have on this bike is absolutely beautiful. It's like a bronze color, and it just fits this bike so well. But it's just the sound that kills it for me for this bike. Like, it sounds like a regular stock R1M, and it just doesn't do so well for me. I don't like it. I like the bike. I like it's fast. It looks good, but it's the sound. Nah, not really there on the sound. But if I had to rate this bike, probably like a 9.7 out of 10. That extra three, those extra 3 points are missing because of the sound. Come on now. Come on, developers. Let's fix that. All right. But next, we got the BMW M1000 RR 2019 Special Edition. And I'll tell you why this is so special. This is special because it has a special badge on it, all right? Insanity. And it's not your regular M1000 RR, all right? It's somewhat, you know, it has more of a streetish drag tune on it, but I put my own tune on it and it's a lot better. And I painted the rear rim because why not? It looks good in my opinion. And if I had to rate this bike, definitely 8.7. 8.7 out of 10. All right, but next up, we got the Lamborghini SVJ. I call it that, but it's the Ducati Street Fighter 63 edition. I only call it that Lamborghini SVJ because it has the SVJ look, decal on it, and it just looks so good. I as soon, well, most of the times you see me riding this thing around because I just love it so much. It's just, you know, I'm cruising around on a Lambo, like, come on now. And it's actually pretty fast for, your regular Street Fighter. And look, you can see it right there, Lamborghini. So you cannot tell me that this is not a Lamborghini. It's right there, guys. Come on now. What's my bike doing? I don't know. I do not know what my bike's doing, but I'm just gonna let it do what it do best, okay? But if I rate this bike, definitely a 10. 10. I love Lambos, and I love how Ducati and Lambo just did this kind of collab together. And well, I don't think they just did. I don't think they did a collab. I think Ducati just slapped a SVJ decal on. And how is my bike actually driving itself? If it takes this turn, watch it take this turn. There's no way. Okay, I thought it was actually about to take this turn. All right. Nah. All right, but next up we got the Ducati V4 Special from 2018. This is a I love this bike so much, guys. Uh, it's like a SP2 just without the winglets, but still, in my heart, I consider it a SP2. And those flames, oh my lord, those flames are perfect. I just can't get over how beautiful this bike is, and it's just has a really special place in my heart. Where'd you come from? You have a H2R? Nice. Well, not R, it's just the H2. But if I had to rate this bike would definitely be uh probably a 9.9. 9.9 out of 10. Only because it's missing the winglets. But that's still pretty good. But next up we have the BMW HP4 Race from 2014. And I got this was my first ever like wheel spin bike. So I got this bike from a wheel spin. I think it took me like 2 to 3 hours just to get this bike, and it was a lot of money that I wouldn't say wasted, invested into that wheel spin, and it kind of hurt seeing all my money disappear like that. But hey, it was worth it all at the end. It really was worth it. Definitely one of my best bikes right here because I love the HP4, and this is my dream bike. Well, one of my dream bikes in real life as well. I'm just so glad I got this bike. And this is a 10 for me right here, definitely a 10. But next up, we have the Ducati 99R Racing Modified from 2006, and I feel like this is somewhat a GP bike only because of the sponsors on the side, and I feel like it's this bike just like more modified, you know. It does shoot big flames like that bike, and it does have a little bit, deeper idle, which I like, but if I had to rate this, I think this was a Robux bike. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But if I had to rate this bike, definitely probably an 8.7 out of 10. It's not bad. Not bad at all. But next up, we have where is it? Ducati V4R Street Edition from 2019. And this is basically, well, it's a V4R. It just has a, a GP exhaust on it. The exhausts that, you see those GP bikes that you see them racing around the track, and they'll have, two exhausts. Yeah, that's what's on this bike. It shoots massive flames. It's fast. Acceleration is good, and the body is full carbon. Like that's crazy. I love this bike. It's definitely a project bike, and I love it so much. And it's worth every amount of Robux I spent on it. I think it was like 900 something, but it's definitely worth it. But next up, we have the BMW S1000R R Drag Edition, and I love this bike so much. It's just the color that really sets it off, like that light military green, and then that little blue accent, that RR, it's just perfect. It really is. And then the gap cam, that's actually functional. You can actually see like behind you. Like I love that. That's funny. That's really funny. Cause you can use that to see how bad you gap someone. And man, I love this bike so much. I really do. But this is a 10 out of 10 for me. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right. The next one is the Kawasaki ZX-10R Drag Edition from 2016. And I know, I know, the color is very strange. I only did it to match my fit, all right? I only did it to match my fit. I'm going to change it. I swear, I'm going to change it at the end of the video. I promise. But if I had to rate this bike, definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely. I just, something about this bike. Well, actually, this was my first drag bike. Yeah, this was my first drag bike. Yeah. All right. And it's just, like evil. Come on now. Just pure, like look at all that aura. That ring of aura surrounding this bike. All right. But next up, wait, did I rate it? I think I rated it. Oh, no, I don't think I rated it, but it's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, dead 10 out of 10. But next up, we have the Suzuki Hayabusa Racing Modified, and this is the baby version of the drag Suzuki Hayabusa Drag Edition from 2022. And I know looks might be deceiving, but it is really fast, okay? It really is. I mean, the wheel is chunkier than it should be. The brake disc is going through it a little bit, and the color is a little off. But hey, I can't. I got this a while back. I thought it looked good. All right, do not blame me. All right, it looks terrible now. I'm gonna change it eventually, but still, it's a fast bike. Really is. And if I had to rate it, probably a 9.4 out of 10. But next up, we have the Suzuki Hayabusa Drag Edition 2022, and this is the adult version, or the mother or father of the little baby Suzuki Hayabusa Racing Modified. This is a ton faster, and the color on this little sage color that I got going on this bike is just perfect. It matches the. I just feel like it matches the aura of this bike so much. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's true. I can feel it. I can feel the bike's aura. It sounds good, and if you listen closely, you can kind of hear a turbo. You kind of can. And you can turn up your volume a little bit, but if I had to rate this bike, definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely. But next up, we have the BMW Bonovo World SBK team bike from 2023, and I think this was actually one of my first Robux bikes. I got this and the Moto Corsa for 900 each. So that's like six. Well, I can't math. My math isn't mathing sometimes. But I think it's either, yeah, I think it's 1800. 1800 or 1700 just for both these bikes. But this bike, definitely a GP bike. All the, sponsors on the side, beautiful. The 45 up there is perfect. It's fast, sounds good, shoots flames good. Some big flames. And I painted the front rim just to, give it that little style, I just feel it fits, okay? It fits it. But this is a 9.5 out of 10 for me, definitely. But next up, we have our last bike, which is the Ducati Motoccorsa team bike, racing team bike from 2024. And I love this bike so much. It's loud, it's fast, it shoots flames good. Those rims are perfect. The sponsors and the visible clutch. Oh my, guys, come on now. Can't get any better than this. I really can't. And yeah, like I said, this was one of my first, Roblox bikes and has a special place in my heart. And I'm rating this a solid 9.7 out of 10. But that's gonna be it for today's video. If I hope y'all like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. All right, peace.